The emergency session of the Galactic Council convened in chaos. Representatives from 3,000 species filled the grand chamber on Station Zenith, their various forms of communication creating a cacophony that the universal translators struggled to parse. At the center of the storm stood Ambassador Ketra, of the Vol Collective, her crystalline form flickering with agitation as she read the brief transmission one more time. Effective immediately, humanity withdraws from the Galactic Council. We will honor existing trade agreements for 6 standard months to allow for transition. After that period, human space is closed. Do not follow us. It had been signed simply Dr. Sarah Chen, Secretary General of Earth. This is unprecedented. Ketra's voice resonated through the chamber. In 12,000 years of Council history, no species has ever voluntarily withdrawn. They must be mad. Council Chairman Thex, an ancient being whose species had founded the Council itself, raised one of his 7 appendages for silence. The gesture was enough to quiet the assembly. His eyes, older than most civilizations present, held a weight of concern that unsettled even the most belligerent attendees. The humans are not mad, Thex said slowly. I fear they may be the sanest among us, and that is what terrifies me. The chamber erupted again, but Thex continued, his voice cutting through the noise. 23 Earth years ago, humanity joined our council. We welcomed them as we do all emerging spacefaring species, with patronizing patience and carefully crafted restrictions. We gave them the same speech we give everyone. You are young, learn from your elders. Accept your place in the cosmic order. Ambassador Ven of the Krix Empire, a species that had subjugated 17 others under council oversight, chittered dismissively. As is proper. They were barely out of their own solar system. They had fought wars over primitive resources. They needed guidance. Guidance, Thex repeated, his tone hollow. We prevented them from mining certain asteroids in their own system because it might disturb trade routes. We forbade them from settling 3 of their neighboring systems because those were reserved by the exploration accords of species who filed claims 7,000 years ago, but never actually settled them. We demanded they limit their population growth, their industrial expansion, their very ambition. Standard protocols for integration, Ketra insisted, though her flickering had slowed. And humans, Thex continued, did something we never expected. They obeyed. Completely. For 20 years they followed every rule, attended every session, and participated in our bureaucracy with exemplary patience. They smiled, nodded, and played the game of cosmic politics. He paused, his ancient eyes scanning the assembly. But while we watched them and congratulated ourselves on civilizing another species, humanity was watching us, studying us, learning everything about how we think, how we operate, what we value, and most importantly, what we fear. A Drexian trade minister, whose species controlled much of the galactic economy, spoke up. What could they possibly have learned that justifies this tantrum? They need our trade routes, our technology, our protection from hostile species. Thex activated the central display, showing data that made several representatives recoil. Intelligence reports from the past 5 years. Humanity didn't just obey our restrictions, they worked around them. Forbidden to mine certain asteroids, they developed matter replication technology that makes mining largely obsolete. Restricted from settling nearby systems, they built generation ships capable of crossing the galaxy and sent them to the empty zones beyond Council space. Limited in population growth, they created habitats that house billions in comfort we can barely comprehend. The display shifted to show images of human innovation, fusion reactors that put Council technology to shame, AI systems that had solved mathematical problems that had stumped galactic scientists for millennia, biological enhancements that made humans adaptable to any environment, and weapons that made even the battle-hardened Krix military analysts nervous. But here is what truly concerns me, Thex said, his voice dropping to barely above a whisper. 3 months ago, humanity made first contact with the Devourers. The chamber fell into absolute silence. The Devourers, a machine intelligence that had consumed 2 entire galactic arms in distant space, were the Council's most closely guarded secret. They had been hidden from all species younger than 5,000 years to prevent panic. That's impossible, Ketra stammered. The Devourer files are sealed at the highest level. Humanity infiltrated our most secure archives years ago, Thex interrupted. And unlike us who have spent 3,000 years running from the Devourers hoping they'll never find us, humanity did something characteristically insane. They went to meet them. The display showed grainy footage of human ships, sleek, deadly vessels bearing no resemblance to the humble craft they'd shown the Council, engaging Devourer units. The battle was brief. The Devourers lost. Impossible, Ven whispered. Nothing defeats the Devourers. We've lost entire species trying. Humanity studied them, found their weaknesses, and developed weapons specifically designed to counter them. Then they sent a diplomatic mission. To machines that don't negotiate, that only consume. Thex paused. Humanity negotiated. He brought up a final image, a human and a Devourer unit sitting across from each other, a document between them. They made peace? Someone asked in disbelief. No, Thex said. They made a deal. Humanity offered the Devourers something they found more valuable than conquest. Partnership. Human innovation combined with Devourer computational power. The Devourers agreed to a non-aggression pact and a research alliance. The implications crashed over the assembly like a wave. Humanity hadn't just left the Council. They'd graduated beyond it. They'd solved the existential threat that terrified the galaxy's oldest civilizations, and they'd done it without asking permission or help. So what do we do? Ketra asked, her crystalline form dim with defeat. Thex looked at the closed human transmission one last time. We pray they remember we were merely condescending, not cruel. We hope that when they build their new order among the stars, they judge us with more mercy than we showed them. And we learn the lesson they tried to teach us. What lesson? That humanity's greatest strength was never their technology or their courage, Thex said quietly. It was their ability to smile, learn everything about you, and then become something you never imagined possible while you weren't paying attention. The emergency session ended with no resolution. What could they resolve? Humanity had already moved beyond their reach, and the galaxy would never be the same.